Hello and welcome. For this practice, I invite you to grab a yoga bolster or a couple of really firm or firmer pillows. We are going to be using it to lay down on as a support for this shape that we're going to be taking. And if you are not familiar with restorative yoga, I invite you to click back a few videos to just kind of watch that intro, and I explain a little bit more about what restorative yoga is. It's super helpful for your mental health overall. It's a great benefit for your stress response or anything else that might be going on. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We are going to be taking technically one shape, but we're going to be lying on both sides of our body. So we are going to lay first on the right side, or whichever side you choose, and then the other side. So wherever you're at, go ahead and set your yoga bolster up next to you. So you're going to come to sit on your side, either your right or left hip, whichever side you feel comfortable starting with. And you want the end of that yoga bolster or that stack of pillows to be really firm up against your side here. And then when you are ready, I invite you to slowly, I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. I'm going to invite you to slowly start to lay over your yoga bolster like so. So whichever side you're starting with, I'm starting with my right. Just start to notice what it feels like to settle into this shape here. And I forgot to mention at the start, if you would like to grab a blanket as well, that might help you get a little bit more comfortable. Maybe you want to place your blanket over top of your pillows and your bolster, or some people like to place the blanket between their knees just to give a little extra cushioning, or even under your hip if you feel like you need extra cushioning there. So just kind of notice what feels best here, what you need to feel really supportive. So the goal here is not to feel any stress, any strain, any tension in your body. You want to give yourself lots of time and space to settle in, to be supported, to feel comfortable. And maybe you can start to notice one arm, one hand is on one side of your bolster or your pillow, and your other arm and hand are on the other side, just gently wrapping around whatever is underneath you here. And maybe you feel like this isn't super supportive. Maybe you need to adjust and readjust. For me, sometimes I like to bring my arms around the end of the bolster and interlace my fingers. That actually feels really comfortable here, so that's what I'm going to do. And we are going to settle into this shape for a few minutes. So as you continue to settle in, notice how this feels on your spine, on your hip. Maybe start to notice what it feels like for your upper body to be really supported over top of your bolster or your pillows. An option, if it feels good for you, if it feels better, you can always lift your head and drop your opposite cheek down. For some people, that feels like a little bit more of a strain. For others, it actually feels a little bit better. So just kind of notice which side of your face you'd like to rest your bolster on here. Maybe you just stay as is. And if you have never practiced yoga in complete stillness, or maybe you don't have very much stillness in your life at all, this may feel very foreign, it may feel very uncomfortable at first. And that is okay. Some of that mental, emotional discomfort is good because it makes you aware of the areas that you maybe need to hone in on a little bit more. So maybe you find that your thoughts are bouncing here, there, and everywhere. Maybe you are going to those to-do lists. Whatever it is that you are experiencing, that's okay, it's normal. I invite you though to bring your awareness back to the center. And when I mean center, I mean back to yourself. So maybe you start to notice even the very physical center of your body here. Maybe you notice that your shoulders get just a little bit heavier towards the earth. Maybe you notice the rise and fall of your chest. And let's spend a few more moments together here in silence before we take it to the other side. If you feel like your body is asking you to stay here for longer, definitely do so. You can pause the video and stay for a few more moments, a few more minutes, and then resume when you're ready to move to the other side. If you are moving with me and ready to move to the other side, I invite you to slowly start to ground through your palms of your hands here. Bring them a little bit closer to you, and then slowly start to push all the way up. Your head and neck are the last to arrive here. And then wherever you're at, take your time switching sides. So for me, I'm going to switch to my left side. You don't have to move anything. You can just switch sides. I am going to move my bolster over here and lay down on my other hip. So take your time, just like we did on the first side, settling into this here. Again, make sure the end of your bolster, your pillows, is firmly grounded on your hips, on your leg, and then just slowly, when you're ready, you can fold all the way over. And same option on this side. If you feel like you need to play with which side of your head rest most comfortably, go ahead and do so. And then again, just start to get your arms situated however feels best. If you need a blanket on you or between your knees, under your hip, I invite you to grab that. And wherever you start to settle in here, can you release tension anywhere you feel it hanging out in your body? So when I say that, here specifically, I mean not holding up any parts of your body. So maybe you find that you're holding some weight in your elbows. Can you readjust your arms so you're not holding weight in your elbows or your hands or your forearms? And then same with your legs. Can they just kind of fall naturally as they do behind you? And it is perfectly okay and normal if this side looks different, feels different than the other side. You may have to lay just slightly differently to feel comfortable. So do what you need to do here. And if you are already feeling very settled in, I invite you to stay just where you're at. Let's go ahead and spend these last couple of minutes in silence together. Again, coming back to your breathing, the feel of your bolster, your pillows if your mind starts to wander. And I will check back in with you in just a couple minutes. I hope that this practice gave you what it was that you needed. I hope you were able to find some silence and some stillness for yourself. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you next time.